Okay, we are live. We are live.
Welcome. Welcome one and all to the UnderTrumped podcast.
They're receiving my content.
Step up to the baseball plate. Yeah.
So, should we just go ahead and get to the juicy stuff?
Yeah, stuff happened. Welcome.
Okay, I'll open this.
Hey guys, quick emergency snack pack. Tell me what gun it is in the comments. If you can tell me correctly, I will give you absolutely nothing.
Okay, so today's topic, our main topic today, will be Operation P, or Operation Pacific. And most people know what's going on. So, basically Operation Pacific is about the next map. And yes, and it will have to do with,
Pag, we know Operation.
it will have to do with Okinawa. That's the plan for the map. And Doom is working on super secret shenanigan mod stuff.
It's not super secret. I've already shown you one of my guns.
Yeah, it's basically not secret. But anyways,
if you really want to see my guns, go check out my IJA pack. I'm pretty much what it's gonna be is that mod pack plus more. Now everybody knows right now that the server is down.
That is due to the host messing up and not being able to take the information. So what's happening right now? Of course, Kieran's already announced it, but he's going to put it onto a survival server temporarily until Operation Pacific is all set to go.
Wait, we can't have somebody bragging about first.
Do you think it's? Do you think we're at liberty to talk about basically what's the outline of the Pacific? Should we start at like what's going to happen at the beginning, which I already know?
Most of us, me, Jones, I'm sure Hans knows part of it, and all the other modders who are in here already know most of what's going to happen because we're either making the content or Kieran's already told us what's going to happen.
Pretty much.
I'm trying my best right now.
The plan is in the future. Maybe we'll see what happens. This is really rough.
Oh, I can't show those other servers.
Okinawa is going to we're going to start probably with like us invading Okinawa, like the Allies invading Okinawa. That's kind of in the works.
Maybe getting repulsed.
Everybody likes dank memes, apparently.
Okay, go ahead, Pag, if you have an exclusive news clip.
Scoop. It's a scoop.
I'll scoop you.
I love
By the way, Pag is the one who's, as far as I understand, making the map, and NPCs.
Oh, that's you, Jones.
That's right,
all the Germans around you. What?
Yeah, well, I knew about that, Yugi Doobie.
Dang, alright. I'm a little sad though about like how Kieran got rid of all the
Well, Kieran's like
I didn't buy any with my money personally because they were all gifted to me. Thank you, Nick. But I'm still sad though.
I bought all of them except for the Tank Buster kit because the Tank Buster kit was always bad for the Allies.
I bought all the kits and is he going to give us more credit? What is he going to do?
Okay, guys, that will be an entirely different. Well, actually, you know what? Let's go with that. Since it is such a thing of controversy right now.
Yeah, it's like if I'm gonna lose all my money, can I have my $25 back?
Maybe. What do we say?
What kits? What now?
For whoever's had donor kits, they get maybe a special kit or something, or maybe they get some kind of not a refund by money, but like. Something special, or something unique, or some XP.
Maybe they get like a special kit that gives them like bonus XP based off of how many
I'm gonna put it this way: if you put your money into a server, the likelihood of that server living on for the rest of your life and your investment being a worthy investment is second to none.
Well, the thing is. I put it in so I can enjoy the kits and the server, and I enjoyed the kits and the server. I'd like to continue enjoying the kits and the server. I think that's how most people are viewing this. We can't hear you, Luftwaffe, Astro.
Wait, can you
hear me now?
Okay, good. I didn't actually have my mic on.
Okay.
So,
okay, Peg,
nice gaming.
I have a question. I have a question for Pag. How large are you going to make this map? Is it going to be extra large, small, medium?
I want a big.
Okay,
Open.
that makes sense.
I want a big skybox.
I want a giant map that I can
has Kieran talked to you about the plan that I came up with? Like I don't know. Well,
nope. Apparently not.
No, I think he has. It's just the idea is to stage an allied invasion.
That would be so cool. What I want is I want big naval battles. That's what
I'm just going to go ahead and write out and say what's going to happen is
invasion.
In theory, what will happen? We'll see. Is that that we might have to actually? Yeah, I don't. Okay, Pag. This isn't theory. This is theoretical. Okay, where you know. I'm sure Kieran's talked to you about it. Where we might have to. I'm not at liberty yet. I'm not sure if I should tell it yet or not.
Oh, Gaming's in the chat. Hi, Gaming.
Hey,
Hello, Gaming.
Fingers crossed Kieran doesn't demand for my removal from this podcast.
No, I'm not saying like stage a landing in regards to like stage it, but like an event. That's what I'm saying. Is it would be a constant event until the Allies actually took, per se, like the initial city. Because I think the plan is on this map is it's going to be where the Japanese actually have, at the start, have all of the territory, because that's what makes sense. We're going into enemy territory. That's how it probably is going to start. I don't know. It's debatable. I think Kieran likes it. Okay, look, Gaming, the idea is that the Allies will have just this... Well, this event will go on and on and on, just like it would have gone in real warfare, until we actually take what we need to take. Yeah, Pag, I do have another.
Or you're driven off the island, either one.
On Okinawa, are you going to have like some fixed aircraft carriers? At least for the United States, I don't know. Because I know that the United States is going to have some kind of aircraft carrier and maybe a. Well, I don't know. Yeah, aircraft carriers make sense because you can just buy battleships and things like that. All right. How about? Oh, I know. I got another idea. Since Pag is here, what do any of us have suggestions for the Pacific? Since we're here and Pag can hear.
Working submarines.
I don't think that's possible.
Okay. My suggestion is one of those mountain forts that the Japanese had.
I think
where they had forts and artillery emplacements cut out of mountainsides.
I would like to see.
Like
I don't know if this is going to be possible,
sides.
Pag, but I'd like to see some trenches of some sort, like on the actual, because it makes sense. I mean, the Japanese had roughly 1 to 2 years or so to make those trenches and make them pretty solid. I would say tunnel works, but that would take far too long, and it would be way too complicated and glitchy. Yeah, sure, Pag. If you want to give an outline, go ahead. Well, Pag's type we can talk, I suppose. Okay.
Yeah.
And once Peg's done giving the outline, I'll tell everyone on the stream what the outline is. I think that's a worthy endeavor. Interesting. I've got ideas. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and say real quick the actual thing that me and Kieran talked about. And I'm just going to say that the idea is that we have an Allied landing, and you have to take your HQ in the landing. The Allies have to, because that would be realistic. Yes, the HQ might start on the aircraft carrier, but to have to take your own HQ and establish a point of sort of safety, so to speak, I think would be very cool.
Yeah.
It would be hard, and that's why I'd have to say constant assault, because it is a requirement in a sense. And it would just be a constant uphill battle.
Wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, there needs to be dense forests and hills, but there also needs to be evidence of trenches and Maybe even artillery emplacements. I think having trenches, like on the hills particularly, and we should have tall mountains. I think having tall mountains would be very realistic. Now, I would like tunnels, as I have said, but that's going to take way too long and pretty much impossible to make. At least in Unturned. Because, it's... The Japanese were known for... I'm talking like dirt tunnels. The Japanese were known for making an extensive tunnel system on pretty much on their main islands, and they would have sort of an interconnected city, and they just pop out of those tunnels out of nowhere. And it was a certain importance. Yeah.
So, is there anything more to say in regard
Okay, well, I'm going to give the outline that Pag just gave, because I'm not sure if everyone can see the screen. So, for anybody watching it now or later, Pag, I'll read almost exactly what he said. Basically, he says that you're going to have islands surrounding that will be unnamed, except with some ones with airfields. And you will, let's see, as you get to the main island, the beach will be heavily in favor of attacking forces to encourage fighting, not to be on the beaches like in real life. There will be NPCs for both teams on the mainland with expensive land vehicles, which will be locked. And then on the mainland, there will be an extremely dense forest and hills, which makes sense. A few small towns and 3 major bases within the forest. There will be unmarked campsites, and hopefully we'll be able to make tunnels. We'll see. Obviously Kieran's got, I think, personally a less than realistic timeline for this. 2 to 3 weeks seems unlikely. I don't know.
What's this for then? Sorry, I tuned out for a second.
Peg, I want your opinion. Do you think you can actually get this map done in like 2 to 3 weeks, or is it completely unrealistic and stupid to think that? I mean, that would be audacious at best. Yeah. The smaller islands probably won't take as long. I would think. Once you get the HQ and the mainland done, the smaller islands will just be basic airfields and other things. Yeah, Pat, go ahead. I mean, I think this is probably the most audacious thing that in UnTrumped history that's been done, in my opinion. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Hey, Pac, I don't know if this would be possible, but maybe you could make some kind of a narrow channel for boats to go through. Not on Okinawa, per se, but on, like, an unnamed island, like a narrow river or something that, like, the Navy could navigate through. That would be kind of cool. Like 2 mountains on both sides, and then they have to navigate through those rivers. And, like, with a PT boat and something. I think that would be kind of neat. Oh, that's neat. So, I mean, it is exciting, to say the least. Because, I mean, anyways, Project Pacific is going to be a great project.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Jones, you okay? I just hear. I'm not looking at Discord, but I just hear you. Are you okay?
Pag, that is amazing. Okay, so another thing that Pag wants to add, apparently, is a mountain pass with, like, 1 bridge. That'd be cool. What if that bridge was, like, crucial to... Like, if there were 2 crucial points, and that bridge was crucial, like, to get from one area to another area, like a very important area.
Can't you make bridges destructible?
Like a radio tower, for instance.
Can't you make bridges destructible? Pag?
Hacksaw Ridge is going to be an amazing addition.
Radio tower. It'd be the new Warsaw where everyone goes.
I just say one thing: do not make it flat. Blitzkrieg is flat, and then I think that's one reason the server's dying. It's a flat and very boring map.
Okay, hills are fun for any airplanes because we just fly by them and it's really dramatic and it's fun.
And it's got to be really thickly forested, like even more so than Hawaii. It's got to be so. It's just got to have a very thick.
And Jones, on a scale of 1 to 10, how very thick?
The thickest.
It's got to be okay. Like I'm talking like in Vietnam, how thick that undergrowth and trees. It's got to be hard. I mean, maybe no, it was thick. The Pacific really had a lot of trees and tropical things. Not too much to make the map lag, but at the same time, I think it would be very.
Would it be thick? Would it be thick enough to make vehicles not be able to pass?
No, there's going to be what Pag says. There's going to be paths for vehicles to pass through, but ultimately, vehicles I don't think are going to be able to. I would kind of like to make it in some ways where in certain areas vehicles cannot go through, because going through it's unrealistic unless it's like a Jeep. But for tanks, I doubt it. Honestly, I think mostly the tanks we're going to use are light armored.
Yeah, like sure.
Honestly, in the Pacific, the U.S. had a huge tank advantage. Because Japan was building infantry tanks to fight China's non-existent tanks. And America was fighting general-purpose medium tanks to fight the Germans' tanks and Japan's tanks. So the Shermans showed up in the Pacific and could destroy anything Japan could put
I think this will be the best thing that has ever happened to UnderTrumped in its history. That's what I think.
Hey guys,
unless it's poorly executed. I'm hoping it's not. Guys, there is always a possibility.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Yes. What I want big open naval battles.
Well, you're gonna have, like I said, probably what's gonna have to happen, Peg, is you're gonna have to test out the map. Like, I'm sure there's gonna be kinks to work out.
I wonder how bombing ships will work. Gaming Today had a little World War II server while Blitzkrieg was being put up, and we did a little Pearl Harbor thing.
So,
and
I do have a question.
Excuse me. And so we did a little Pearl Harbor thing, and bombing ships was actually kind of hard. So I wonder if Pag, make the bomb damage a little higher if you can. I don't know.
Well, the thing is in the real world, bombing
no, it was
ships
like with D3A1 dive bomber.
I think
no. A Banshee or a Stuka, they can one-shot anything. They can one-shot anything.
What if
you
the
have
Japanese
to hit it
to 0?
I'm just saying personally that out of just anything, if we get working submarines, they could submerge. It may not be all deep, but they could still submerge.
Yeah, there's a submarine mod.
Yeah, but that takes like 7 shots for 7.7.
I mean, in theory, you could make a submarine, but it would have to remain on the surface.
I mean, you could. I mean, there is one mod. I think Puggo made it. He
you
had
can't
working.
Make submarines that submerse. I'm just gonna be honest with the limitations of Unturned right now. You can't move hitboxes. Well, you physically couldn't make it submerse. You couldn't move the crew down and still have it float on the water.
Oh. Well, actually, wasn't there a mod a long time ago, Puggo? He made like some kind of submersible aquatic vehicles.
Those drove on the bottom of the ocean.
Not the one.
Blimps would crash. All objects stop working. I'm pretty sure most vehicles stop working underwater. Unless, because the center has to be above water for it to work. So I guess I could stick it really, really high up and make it a blimp. That might work. But then it could fly off into the air and be completely unrealistic.
Flying submarine. I think, Pat, one thing you can do, even if we don't see submarine combat, maybe you can add like a couple crashed submarines. I think that would be cool. Like one on the beach and maybe a few underwater. Because there were beach submarines that did happen, and I don't know if this is possible. Maybe have like a crashed battleship or something. I want this place to look battle hardened because ultimately that's what ended up happening at Okinawa.
You know what I want? I want a sunk like battleship in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Or in like a battlefield where a bunch of ships have been sunk.
Yeah, that could be really. Yeah, maybe that would actually be really cool. It'd be worthless.
You can admin edit the
It'd be really cool.
Can maybe add edit the Liberator underground.
No, what you could do is you could look up a battle from Pacific where there was a big naval battle, and you could look up the losses from each side, and you could take a ship representing each, like a cruiser, a battleship, a carrier, and put them at the bottom of the ocean and different positions as a reference to that battle. Yes.
Maybe something that'd be kind of cool is if you had some kind of a civilian NPC that was like, because like in like during the war, there were spies on both sides in that area, in like areas like that. My dad knew somebody who was sort of involved in that. And I think that Pag, I wonder, is there going to be like an Allied HQ on the land where you can buy vehicles?
I think it's going to be like Sicily.
I think that I think that what the idea is, is that in like the initial assault, what we should do is we have to take Allied HQ and we have to hold Allied HQ. I think, Pag, when it comes to making Pag, here's what I want you to do when it comes to making the HQ. I want you to make it sort of look ragtag and shoddily put together, but still durable, like a camp of sorts. Because that's what it would be in realistic situations, like surround it with tank traps or something, and put up like tents and things, because it would be very unprofessional.
You know what I want is I want, as the very first event, I want there to be a giant, just to open up, like, day one, the server opens, there would be a giant D-Day style event to take the Allied HQ, and it would last the entire day. You'd have to take it and, like, hold it for an hour.
What if you made it like a city that was already somewhat ruined, and then that was their HQ, and it was shoddily put together, not like Sicily. See, in Sicily, they had that really thick wall that was like, and that was like too really because honestly, it would have been like a temporary HQ. It would have been set up quickly, and then they would be ready, and they might work on it for a more permanent time. I think it would be also kind of cool if under Axis HQ, like where you found the NPCs, was in tunnels, like with where the command was and everything.
Yeah, if the Axis HQ was like in a tunnel.
That would be kind of cool, like underground, because I think that would be like, and that's where you found different NPCs and stuff.
And then the allies, they'd be under like temporary tents.
And you know what? I think it would also be cool if you made it to where the Axis HQ doesn't look like much, but it's actually a lot, and most of it's under the ground, like it's a secret. There's like certain,
maybe like the top there would be like there would be a runway and like some garages for planes and tanks, and the rest is just tunnels.
I think some of the camps should be like major camps, like on hills and stuff, and in those camps you have to take those camps and things. Astro, I think what's done is done with that. I think most people understand it at this point. I mean, I guess we can cover that if we want, but maybe if there's more, we can talk about Project B. Pag, do you have any ideas or suggestions or?
Well, I mean, it is significant news, and it wasn't really not a lot of stuff was really released calmly, if you know what I mean.
Still, Pag, I would like to see having underground tunnels with like some of their guys and things. Maybe, I don't know, because I think having such a because it makes sense. Like you see in Hacksaw Ridge, for instance, when the Japanese commander does his, what they used to do.
Oh yeah,
underground. That's where the command was during some of those battles.
Hey Jones,
yeah.
Someone just brought up in the comments that having a big tunnel system for the Axis base would probably make it less clear and obvious that it's the Axis base, which could probably confuse some newer allies.
Yeah, but if it has the symbol that says Axis HQ and then also the region where you walk in and it says you're entering Axis HQ, then you could get back.
True.
So it's unlikely.
But the Allied HQ would be like an obvious clearing while the Axis HQ, just because the nature of the idea, would be like hidden in the jungle.
I mean, maybe you can have like on the entrance, just like
Why wouldn't it work?
have like Japanese like flags on the wall. A little outpost that has like a Japanese like
No,
flags
Pag,
and
we're
stuff.
talking about having an airfield and then there's a tunnel system under it for the rest of the base.
Well, I don't know. It's just all right. That's his choice.
Okay. Yeah.
Fair. Actually, that's a pretty fair point. However, still having tunnels and like I think in like an Easter egg that you should make in like the tunnels on the map is you should have like an area where it veers off, and where it veers off, there's like a like a little command area, like in like some of the more major locations. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm really excited for this. Like, I am overhyped.
Oh my gosh. So there's server. You know what? Forget the rules. I'm going to click on this. Oh, it's UnTrumped. UnTrumped. New announcement from UnTrumped. Maine. Somebody mentioned me. Who mentioned me? No.
What about
Not
Jap?
doing Jap.
I mean, I asked someone, but he hasn't not responded yet. So big oof on that.
Also, people don't say Jap. That's a racial slur. It's bad.
Okay, look, let me put it this way. When it comes to World War II, there's probably going to be people saying that, because...
I know, but that doesn't make it okay.
Yeah,
it's what they said at that time. It's just like what the Germans did back on Sicily.
Easier, though. It's Japan, it's just Jap.
Yeah, but I don't think it's racist. I just know it's a racial slur.
Well, yeah, of course it was. I mean, if you're fighting, it's sort of like why we call... Now, in reality, they didn't call the Germans germs, but we call them germs because it's a shorter way to say it. Instead of German, we say germs.
I think part of it was joking around because everybody...
Yes, but it's still technically the same thing. In the same... you know... Anyways... let's just, you know...
Yeah, just stop using it. We'll call... You know what? If you don't want to use Japanese, you can use Axis.
I'm not going to call it Axis. Okay, I have my opinion on that, but it doesn't matter.
Political correctness is required.
No, it's not, Jim. It never will be.
Gross.
Anyways, getting back to the subject matter at hand. I think we're just about done with, no, for crying out loud, Pag, it's not. Okay, I don't really care, okay, Pag, I don't really care if it's hate speech, okay? I don't consider it that. That being said, I'm not going to go and say that to a Japanese today, but at the time during that war, it was a quick way to say something. It was a free term, you could say it quick, and it was used by a lot of people.
Let's not get all political here, people.
Yeah, you're right.
Pag, let's not get super political here. Yeah, we got any questions from the comments section?
Hey, comments, give us questions.
Any questions from anybody?
Ideas.
Well, apparently YouTube doesn't like it because German American Mapping just said it in comment and YouTube retracted it.
Ooh.
Oh, by the way, that's me.
Alright, who's been talking in submarines with me? How the only submarines go on the ground?
Hans, how that works is they have the center is up in the sky.
Well, I understand that, but still, they're not riding the ground. They're not riding the sea.
Really?
No, I put a video in Discord. Skip to 250.
Well, here's an idea. I mean, it is sort of silly. What if you made it to where it had the same properties as a boat, but you put the vehicle physically down lower?
Yeah.
Like you kept the same properties as a.
Yeah, you put the buoyancy up above the actual boat. But then you have the problem of people suffocating. Yeah, that's what games.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened in the submarine mod. If you're in the torpedo sea for too long, you.
Also,
I
you
think
wouldn't be able to
the
surface.
submarine question is an unsolvable answer until Nelson actually gets on his backside and does something good.
Well, Nelson is working on 4.0.
Yeah.
Mostly. Honestly, I'd rather have 4.0 by the beginning of next year and next to no 3.0 updates than have 4.0 at this time next year and a bunch of lazy slapped together 3.0.
We're gonna stay on 3.0. Trumped. It's just
4.0 is not going to be an RP game, it's going to be a single player game. Most RP servers will stay on 3.0, and I think he's still going to be upgrading them all. Yeah, Kakashi, paratroopers, airborne, all airborne divisions for both sides are almost guaranteed to not be a thing.
It's basically, okay, it's basically going to be infantry, medic, Air Force, and Navy. Those are going to be the classes. Although I disagree, I wish we were going to have like small subdivisions that you could get into.
I want to lead the Navy, honestly.
Okay, you're not going to lead the Navy. Blandon's going to lead the Navy.
Blandon's leading. He will fight you. He will fight you.
Oh, well, in which case, go ahead. I don't really.
Do I want to join the
Blandon will
Marines
still
or the
fight
Navy?
you.
Yeah, I don't disagree
worry,
with you.
me and Ben have been fighting.
I think this will. Okay, it won't be the VVS. It'll be the USAF, which
Yeah.
I also want to join the USAF. That would be so cool on a Navy.
Okay, likely, I'm going to put Pag as leader of the USAF.
Triggered.
Okay, that's likely what I'm going to do.
Jones, just be careful with Pag. He goes wherever the wind is blowing. Okay.
I know that, but I likely, okay, when the Pacific comes, likely I'm going to put Pag as leader of the USAF with Kieran's permission, because I still have to listen to him. In many ways, I miss when I led the team, but
That was a fun time.
I never was Brigadier General. I never did make it to that.
I thought you
Jones.
Well, it's because Kieran joined the
In case
Allies
I
right
fall
before
over.
you had any chance to be promoted to it.
In case
Hey,
I
Han,
fall
okay.
over,
I have a
to-
question. Who do you think you're gonna put as a leader of the Japanese Navy?
Okay. Anyways, okay, guys, let's get off that subject.
Okay.
It's going to be a few weeks before.
Oh, a
the
few
Pacific
weeks, a
is
few
released.
months until it's all done.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Pat, give me like an overall timeline of when the server will be up with the Pacific, roughly.
5 months later.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it to be up and working till like Christmas break.
I mean, give a rough, maybe. Okay, well, I think that's reasonable. I think the thing about Meloncat is Melon always was very lazy when it came to just too much stuff focused.
Honestly, I'll be honest. I'm sort of glad he left.
Yeah, I think that.
He
I like
wasn't-
the idea,
The
but
likelihood, Pag is very correct. I think it'll take about a month or so. I'm going to say a month to 3 months. Kieran's going to still be working. Kieran basically has everything on his side done. Or work in progress done. He's going to be ready when the map comes, because for the temporary time there's going to be just like normal stuff.
Watch the normal vanilla server turn into an RP server. Vanilla RP server. Without any RP mechanics already built in. It's just gonna turn into RP server just because of the community.
Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be a lone ranger. I'm just gonna go on my own and do my own thing.
Oh, you don't wanna
accept
become
me,
the-
please.
Yo, boys, the Texas crew.
Yes.
Hey, you know what we
Texas
could? Hey,
crew.
dude, you know what we
The
could call
Penguin.
ourselves? We could call ourselves the new Texas Rangers.
No, I actually
Okay.
just made a Discord
No.
called Texas, and the definition and the description of General Tac chat is be a cowboy and
Okay,
and enjoy Texas.
now going on to what's going on with the server. Server's broke. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Not a secret. RIP. For a temporary time, it is going to be a survival-ish, RP-ish server. Also, Rip and Pepperoni, me being moderator until the Pacific, but also the same for Hans, I think.
Yeah.
Rip and Pepperoni, my who is command. Hello, darkness.
Ribbon Pepperoni is my possible LTC promotion.
Ribbon Pepperoni's my officer promotion. Oh wait.
Okay, the likely thing that's going to happen, I think. And I just went brain dead there for a minute, so I completely forgot what I was going to say.
You always are.
R.I.P. Jones's brain.
That's mean.
Can we get an R.I.P. Jones's brain in the chat?
Why? Also, everybody does everyone like my new profile pic?
Yeah,
It looks like you like hanging out with the Axis more than the Allies.
I know.
Yeah. We had him for
picture.
4 hours once. We had him for 4 hours.
I have a good picture. Hold on, I gotta find
speaking
it.
of having Jones captive, you guys remember that one time we got Jones out like 20 minutes after he was captured with next to no casualties?
Remember?
Or did you guys all forget that?
You guys freaking followed me all the way to freaking Lublin, and I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm just gonna freaking. I'm thinking of executing Jones, and then he books it. So.
Yeah, well, that's why I was doing it. Okay, I was booking it because I knew my time was getting short on the watching the
occasion. He was at Talentine, and you guys were like, "We have Jones, come take him," and we were like, "Okay." Farmed PPSHs and flamethrowers for 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay, I have to call. What Dune did there was a solid rescue. Solid. You know. Anyways. Back to the subject matter at hand. It'll be a survival server for roughly as long as it takes PAG, which could be anywhere. I'm going to give a timeline. Let's say a month to 3 months. Hopefully, ideally, I don't know. Yeah, it just depends on. For the time being, I'm gonna definitely stay on the survival server. Try to keep the server alive. In any way possible, and I'm hoping all of you will stay on the survival server, keep the server active, because that's our job.
No, I remember the first time I was on the survival.
Yeah, that was
dead.
Oh my gosh, I remember the first time I was on the survival.
That was amazing.
Okay, low-key.
Is there anything else we want to cover before we wrap it up, or something?
Just talk about random crop.
Okay, if we're doing that, okay. Look at the screen. I am proud of what I made. It's not done yet, but it's pretty good.
I can't show you my work in progress stuff on Unity.
Okay, look at this. Are you doing that?
Yeah, when you start modeling, you're supposed to do...
I'm sorry.
Ooh, nice console. Nice desktop. I like your Minecraft you got there.
Let me be.
Oh, those were good memories, Hans. Those are real good memories.
Wait, Jones, remember when we got captured, like me, you, and Toad?
Oh yeah, I remember. That was awesome. Okay, I want to tell a story. Okay, how about this? How about we add this on a day like today? Story
time.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start first. Okay, so there was this one time where Magical got captured, and so I tried to save him. I got captured. Things were looking kind of bleak at that point. And then Toast got captured, and then Cindy did this elaborate plan to try and get us out. And ultimately, we got out by doing one thing. We were in Discord talking to one another. And, well, Toast wasn't there, but me and Magical were, and we were talking amongst each other. And I told Magical in Discord, I said, let's overpower the guard. And so it worked out perfectly. Okay, so what we did, we had no weapons. So we took our fists. What we had is our fists. Me, Toast, and Magical all went after this one guard. They only had one guard on us. Damn. And what was perfect is he opened the door to try to escape while we were punching him. And we got him, and we got the weapons that we needed. Then another guy opened the door because he saw that his comrade had died. We got him, and so that door was open. And so then we ran out, and we would have survived if we were in a better condition.
Who was the person who captured you guys? I wish I was there for that.
Okay, Hans was there.
It was me.
Okay,
Hans.
Well, okay, there was a time when we captured a bag with like a bunch of tanks, and then we held him for a while. We held him to resort, and then while we were talking, and I trusted him, he pulled out a gun and killed us all. The end.
Okay, I'm just saying, I still hold the record for the longest amount of time being captured with 2 days. Okay, Let me tell this
I
story.
think I hold the record for the fastest Jones capture. Recovery.
No, hold on. I'll tell
I think that goes to me, Bob.
Okay,
actually.
so this was back on Sicily, because I was dumb back then, and I felt bad. And so, Druid and Glitch Fox got really mad at me for doing it, because I kept telling the allies where the position was. This is back when I was a German. And so, eventually they just gave up on me, and then they just let me sit there for like 2 days. And this is like before the Malta event, so I just had to give them all the information I had. Then eventually I just asked Kieran, hey, could I leave now? And he just kind of let me leave.
Alright, I gotta leave the call for now, guys, so I'll see you later.
I gotta do the same, guys.
I'm gonna tell my fancy story. Duck probably really doesn't like this part of the story. Basically, we were doing, everybody remember that time where the Allies were just endlessly attacking, San Vito, or that base of
By the way, that was actually, Hans can't hear me, but that was actually, like, the first time I really kinda knew him. Because Nick had to leave and Hans took over.
Yeah, but... basically what happened is I found, because this is before I had even bought any kits, I found a sniper, went up on a hill, and they had this giant tower that they always built, and I just farmed XP and rep with that sniper, because Duck, and I think, it wasn't Blue, it was Duck,
it wasn't San Vito, it wasn't San Vito, it was St. Angelo.
Yeah, San Angelo, Duck, and like 2 other Luftwaffe kept running up to the top of the tower, laying down with like MG 34s and cars, and I would just pop.
Sure, one of those guys. One of those guys was me. I remember that actually.
Yeah, no, it was so annoying because we had a flak up there, and us three had to be up there because if it started getting strafed, we had to be up there to repair it.
Yeah, and then you guys, and then I just sat there, pop. No, you know who finally found me and killed me? Some random private who never played the game again. He found me, just shot me in the back with a Gewehr and kept running.
I still don't understand why people hated Sicily. I loved that map.
I mean, it was fun, but then thing is, it took like so long to switch maps, and it just got like repetitive.
The war ended, and what was originally supposed to happen was the war's gonna end, the mods gonna out, the new Stalin finish, and then boom, done. What happened was
gonna finish.
Yeah.
That's a funny joke.
But what actually happened is the war ended. A month later, the mod finished.
Hey, Polly. I don't wanna.
This looks really weird. Yo, no showing other Discords on stream. We can't do that, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's only. Can you, like, stop your screen share?
Like how gaming model. Mine's just a bunch of polygons.
I'm only good at modeling guns, as you can see by this.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what he just said.
Tuesday was the 21st, right?
Yeah.
That was the day when literally everything unraveled. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Was that the 21st?
Poo-poo and doo-doo.
This has been I've been scarred. It's been etched into my mind.
You said a bad word.
Doomboy, what is that? What rifle is that?
It's the Type 97. It's the sniper variant of the Type 38.
But yeah, okay, so
Japanese gun.
Permission to kind of explain the whole stuff that's been going on to the audience?
No.
You're the podcast.
Because it was never really explained clearly.
Yeah, I don't think anybody got the full picture.
Alright, can I explain the full picture?
Go to town as long as you're accurate.
Alright,
We don't
so...
want to have a bias on this podcast.
Yeah, we don't want to bias.
Except for
Okay, so, this whole thing involves me, and not in a great way. So...
Love the honesty.
As most of you know, there was a conspiracy that had to do with Kieran and a lot of people in the Axis High Command.
Talking about bad stuff that happened at school.
And,
so
Johnny
people were
got in
skipping
trouble.
class in the bathroom during school, so that was
Axe
fun.
bomb.
So as you know,
No,
Johnny got in trouble.
I was saying,
Johnny got in trouble.
it was, I'm just gonna bust the exceptions right now. It was to try and get Kieran to stop leading Axis because of, some poor military decisions on his part. So, we turned to Nick for that because he had huge past experience, and then Kieran got super mad. So that's the whole thing that really did happen.
Yeah.
Yuppos.
So, we weren't planning Kieran or yeah, to private. And, I managed to make my way back up to PFC because I dropped 480,000 pound bombs on you. Sorry, make that 500. So, he's stupid. It's like if Hitler asked Stalin in real life, hey, can I promote this guy to an officer? Even though he could, you know, maybe damage your country, invade your people, help with that. No.
That big helping of not fun.
And it's just...
I can't really blame him too much.
And...
Oh, Budge, I have to redo this
I feel...
Because that's what I've been doing. That's all they've been watching for, like, the past minute or so. We're not making
what I just done in chat.
No. Bad. Sorry for the background noise. I have people's over.
Have some shells, like, is there any, I'm one, hold on.
Shelly boys. I'll go play some BF1.
Have fun.
Yeah, it's just an amphibious tank.
Thing you just said. I'm just kidding.
Well, it's a water buffalo for the Japanese.